Hi, just out here doing a quick video. Um, General energies at the moment. Favorite place to do a video outside, upon the land. It's really beautiful at the moment. Yeah, a lot of big changes happening. Quite massive, I think, if you look into the astrology um, and what's going on in the world and what's going on for people internally. I know I mentioned it before. For me, since last November, it was an extremely busy time, as I'm sure it was for many people, in a continuous other realm, or aspect of one's life. Um, and there was this non-stop things breaking, things that technically shouldn't have broken. A lot of electronic stuff, and it began to be kind of quite exceptional. So I hadn't done a video in a while because I got a new solar system, which then broke. But there were so many other things to do, and the good weather and getting everything done for later on. Maybe that's what the last phase was, everybody having to kind of go in and re-review, go through overall things as well with those retrogrades and everything. And getting ready for, as I mentioned before, it looks like it's going to be a very busy year. I think an entirely new phase now. Apparently with the Neptune thing, etc. So also, I think a lot of people at the moment are, I know myself, coming to realise that what was relevant before is maybe not so relevant now. And there's one key issue of all of this is this realization of creating one's own world, internally and externally. Oh, the scent of the flowers. It's glorious. Internally and externally now. More so because, the levels of illusion. So, if it is all illusion, then why not create one's own fantastic illusion, or whatever it is you want to call it. I'll crack on anyway. So the center we have, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, very strong position on strong horse, moving forward. Knight of Pentacles up in the Royal House. Um, internal wherewithal, external wherewithal. A lot of work has been done to reach that point. So it's not like heading off to a mountaintop to kind of meditate. It's like having done a lot of hard work and how to apply that as well in the world, in moving forward in the world as well. And the second really strong element at the moment is people kind of returning back to just really wanting to be who they are, their own individual selves. There was a lot of illusion and distraction. So anyway, very strong force coming in, movement. I really like that card for there, and I really like that card for this point in time. A big knight on a big strong horse, it bodes very well. And so what's covering that is the major arcana of the world, the wheel, the wheel turning. So the wheel cycle, a grand cycle, this kind of what Neptune was in Pisces, something, as I always say, I'm not an astrologer, but a grand new cycle has begun, and you can feel it. It's quite palpable. Not based on that, but it was if since last November, when everything was like very, whatever it was nearly like the point of the wheel stopping before it commences now a huge grand cycle, which can be felt internally and externally. Amazing card. So the wheel doth turn it, and it's also, this time of year, we had the equinox coming up to Bealtaine. It's the movement hath begun, you know. Um, Very pertinent to that. But really, I think it's just a whole new cycle. Some people like to refer a lot to karma, karmic cycle. Wouldn't be quite my cup of tea, but I'm sure there's a word. Part of the whole connectedness cycle. There we are. Not too articulate, but so another major arcana, judgment. Um, the trumpet blowing, the judgment. You could say it is connected very somewhat with the wheel. Um, okay, that was in. It's moving out. Judgment. I really think at this stage people have truly, in a very archetypal, in a very colossal, in a very kind of big, even spiritual realization of being aware now of what works for them, what they like, what they don't like, what they do like, what they want, what they're prepared to accept. Is it kind of a reborn thing? No, because I always think that concept of reborn is just moving more into who you actually really are. But there's external forces in play with regard to that. It's kind of fairly unavoidable for a lot of people at this stage. Okay, so whatever that is for you. Um, yeah, a lot of realization. So if that ties into this thing of now people just moving into their own lives, their sovereignty, what it is they want, that was like the point. Um, so next coming in and in is another major arcana, the Fool, number one, and there he is about to step off with his satchel and on a stick and his hound. That was in reverse, so it's extra emphasis on that at the moment. That's really big. That's really part of this brand new. Okay, it's gone back to 0 point with the wheel. The massive, like, unbelievable realizations after the last stagnant 0 point, coming towards 0 point stuff. Kind of quite a lot of dross and forced kind of stasis, as it were. Just stuck with the mundane. Fix this, do that, la la la. Full. It's very useful, optimistic, and it has begun, which is quite gorgeous. A whole new adventure, new level could be spiraling up, or some people moving forward in their lives internally or externally or both, or who knows what has yet to be revealed at this time. But it's very nice, and it ties in, yeah, with a lot of this. Um, Conscious thoughts, a lot of work was done um, for many. And the Nine of Pentacles, so we have up to the Knight. She's right up at the top station, so this is all that work accrued, development accrued, insight on many levels accrued. She has a beautiful garden, her Six Pentacles, and then her extra ones over there, but she's got her hand on those ones. They're hers, defo, and the other ones are more flexible with her hawk of great insight. As well, tying into the divine feminine, um, there, I personally feel there was a long period of extremist masculine that wasn't really masculine, and it impacted people's lives and society and all that kind of thing. So that good groove, as it were, of maintaining that steady connection, steady work, but not that type of, I gotta go out there and highly ambitious. I used to see some people astonishingly ambitious and jogging this and that and the other, and they just seem, especially a lot of women, they just seem, I don't know, like tightly. tightened elastic band or something. Anyway, that's good, conscious, and I think for people who have been kind of staying on the good groove, the Great Red Road, as the Native American Indians, sip of tea, call it, excuse me. It's a good point to have reached. I always really like the card. Excuse me. Subconscious, very good as well, balanced, kind of feminine. The earth. When I say feminine, I'm not meaning, oh no, I'm talking about an enormous universal principle. In reverse, keep an eye on it. Subconscious is still working this out, establishing it, stabilizing it. But the night has brought that pentacle to she. She is the apex point. She's gone through all the stations of the pentacles. She sits on the throne of having attained and realized all of that. It's a very high sovereign state. It's pretty good, beautiful balance to that. So I really like it. The Big Self, another major arcana. So there we are. Kind of like elements of the judgment. The moon. All that lunar aspects that have been very strong and very much at play the last while, all these eclipses and this and that. But I know for a long period of time, the moon wasn't actually that visible from where I am, and there was a period of time where the night stars weren't that visible, during that strange phase. But anyway, the moon, the influence of that other half of everything, that other half of life, the mind, the person, the spirit, the whatever. Tuning into that, the two wolves, always that balancing the internal archetypes. So you could take them on the level of protectors or not protecting yourself, or clarity or lack of clarity, or whatever, with the intuitive elements to balance that out. But essentially, they at your behest, the two wolves. And that dance balance, can be extremely helpful, especially around those kind of luminous, obtruse, lunar energies that have to more be dipped into and connected with. It was very important, very major arcana, and very relevant at the moment to just stay with that quiet, intuitive realm and work with the forces of the two wolves and what they represent within you. Could mean being very spiritual, but honestly, taking no prisoners, etc., and being very clear about what's happening around one. Okay, I just find this an unusual card. It's upside down. The Page of Cups. Not unusual, but just, I don't know, there was something about it. Anyway, it was in reverse, and it is in the environment. So I think, to me, it would indicate there's still the youthful establishing of this emotional state, this new state. So, it's way through the stations because it's part of this very strong energy. So it's right up there, but it's the page. And he's got the salmon of knowledge, rather than fiasa, in the chalice there. So it is this, I would deem it to be part of this new realm that's opening up. And because it's in reverse, it means it's the youthful page. It's in progress. Then another major arcana, a card has been coming up an awful lot the last few months. A card I particularly like, the Hermit, in the realm of the hopes and expectations, but really in the realm of the conscious, subconscious, the hopes and expectations of how one wants to be right now. A good thing to tune into. We're still in the hermit vein, so it is indicating it's not like, the gates are open, boom. It's still go steady, go easy, especially with the moon as well. And even though it is a new journey, stay with the hermit energy of keeping the light contained and steady and wise and quiet to a certain degree, and focusing in on the inner realms still as a strong key element at the moment. So it's not just dashing forward. Two came out for the outcome reverse, five of wands. Okay, so this is a midway point. This is where it's been moving along. It was easy. Something was found out to be not quite right that has to be fixed and adjusted. Battle in adjusting it. But because it's wands, it's something quite earthy and as well, in my mind, spiritual. So it's just having to kind of get in now and sort some things out. But it's not right at the beginning. It's the halfway point before one goes any further. It's a really good time to just get stuck in. So it could be on a physical level, worldly level, spiritual, emotional, whatever it is. If you're moving towards something or away from something, this is what just needs to be fixed, looked at, adjusted, confronted, shifted for this time. But it ain't a bad card, really, in my mind. And then we're finishing up with the three of wands, which kind of goes very well with the 5. So a little sup of tea. So there he is. This actually new process, path, road, paradigm, whatever you want to call it, hath already begun. So it's in up to the threes, and he's got his 3 wands. He's looking out. His beautiful vegetation behind him, looking around at a fabulous horizon line. It's strong. It's a triad. It's a triangle. So it's able to pull down forces and energies and expel forces and energies. It's a fantastic constructive state of creating for the long-term future for this new phase. But it's nice because it's quite earthy. It's quite spiritual. It's easy. It's soft and capable as well, So it came up with this, which means it's working in those realms, which tie with the moon thing as well. It's working in those realms will be the best way forward at the moment for this new paradigm. Just staying, even with the hermit, staying kind of grounded to a certain degree and simple and steady and spiritual and practical. But it's very nice. I think they're lovely. I think they bode very well. So there we are, out here amongst the beautiful yellow flowers. The birds are bonkers. The birds are crazy at the moment. It really is resplendent. The light, it's glorious. The scent in the air, preparing for the return of the May Queen. Oh, it's a very exciting time. And I, for one, will be now, or am now, forming a stronger relationship with the things in my life that suit me, that I like, and possibly want to activate and visualize in the external world as well. The other thing, keeping an eye on all that other stuff is great, but it can be a bit of a shell game, and at the end of the day, what is one giving one's energy to? Maybe we're all just giving all that chicanery legs, So I'm going to give legs to my own little paradigm. Thanks very much now. The simple world, the sovereign world, the truly human world, that is our birthright here, and just focusing on that and being connected with that and growing with that now seems to be even more relevant, and possibly forces are now more geared around that at the moment. Anyway, there we are. I hope that was helpful. Interesting days. So, and I'm looking forward, as I always say, to doing more when my solar panel is fixed, which I'm trying to do myself. I've ordered something, a new thing off something I already got. But they were the days that were in it, and I was obviously meant to be doing other things. So it's like one of these cards. You roll with it, but you also keep your eye on the ball and keep at it in the external worldly sense, etc., etc. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you again. Okay, Sloan, bye.